For 8 long years, the boy constantly rubbed his ear, and for 8 long years, every specialist gave the same verdict: there was nothing to be done. His father crossed oceans, burned through fortunes, begged renowned experts from the finest hospitals in the world to look again, but they all dismissed him with polite certainty. Oliver Hart, a billionaire whose wealth could move mountains, owned private jets, estates, and more money than most people could imagine, yet none of it could buy sound for his son Shah, who had never heard a single noise in his life. Shah was born deaf, and his mother died during childbirth, leaving Oliver with nothing but grief, guilt, and a child trapped in silence. Oliver blamed himself endlessly, believing that a different hospital or better doctors might have saved his wife or changed his son's fate, so he drowned his guilt by writing checks, traveling endlessly, and refusing to accept the word irreversible. What he never realized was that the answer wasn't hidden in some elite medical facility, but inside his own home, carried by a young maid named Victoria, a 27-year-old woman with no degrees, no authority, and nothing but desperation and faith. Victoria took the job at the Hart Mansion not for luxury, but to pay the rising nursing home bills for the grandmother who raised her after her parents died, a woman she refused to abandon to a cold state facility. From the moment Victoria entered the mansion, she felt the heavy silence that filled the house, a silence enforced by grief, rules, and resignation, where servants moved quietly, and the boy sat alone, lining up toys and touching his ear with subtle pain no one seemed to notice. But Victoria did notice. She noticed the wince, the habit, the quiet suffering that others ignored, and though warned strictly to keep her distance, she couldn't unsee it. Over time, small gestures built trust between her and Shaw. Paper birds, shy smiles, shared signs, and silent moments of safety that softened a child abandoned by hope. Despite warnings from the head housekeeper and the risk of losing everything, Victoria's concern deepened as Shaw's pain worsened, until one morning she found him crying soundlessly in the garden, clutching his ear in agony. When she gently looked inside, she saw something dark and solid lodged deep within, something no scan or specialist had ever addressed, and her mind raced back to a similar case from her own family where a simple removal changed everything. Terrified of crossing a line she had no right to cross, Victoria wrestled through nights of prayer, fear, and memories of watching her own brother die unheard, until she made the hardest decision of her life. If Shaw suffered again, she would act. That moment came when she found him collapsed on the floor, shaking in pain, and with trembling hands, guided by faith and desperation, she carefully removed the mass that had stolen his hearing for 8 years. In the instant it came free, Shaw gasped, heard the ticking of a clock for the first time, spoke his first word, and the world exploded into sound as tears and wonder overwhelmed them both. When Oliver returned and saw blood on Victoria's hands, terror eclipsed gratitude, and she was dragged away as security was called, until Shaw screamed, truly screamed, proving the miracle was real. At the hospital, doctors confirmed the truth Oliver never wanted to face. Years earlier, scans had already revealed the blockage, but it had been ignored, buried under ongoing treatments that kept the money flowing. The realization shattered him. The people he trusted had failed his son, while the woman he nearly destroyed had saved him. Oliver returned to Victoria humbled, broken, and apologetic, falling to his knees as he begged forgiveness, acknowledging that he had tried to purchase a miracle when God sent one through willing hands. Together they returned to Shaw, who listened to music for the first time, ran into Victoria's arms, and spoke with a voice still learning how to exist, while Oliver finally heard his son cry, laugh, and live. In that quiet hospital room, surrounded by sound and truth, it became clear that miracles don't always come from power, wealth, or credentials, but from compassion, courage, and someone brave enough to see what everyone else ignored.